A very happy new year to everyone watching the show. We are back again with another episode of Cabin Chronicles, where we chat in the cabin of B-Gen leaders to take a sneak peek into their lives. I'm your host Debulina Banerjee, and today we have Miss Rashmi Nandargi with us. She
Okay.
is Hello, ma'am.
Hi, Debulina.
Yes, she is the head of claims in the health, travel, and personal accident department and has joined the company all the way back in 2006. Happy New Year to you too, ma'am.
Thank you, Debulina, and same to you, and wishing you a very happy Makar Sankranti today.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for being here. So let's start from the very beginning and tell us your life. Tell us a little bit about your life before you joined Bajaj General.
Okay. So before I joined Bajaj General, as you know, I have a medical degree. So I was into the healthcare space, and I was working with hospitals, and then I was also doing my private practice, and it was more towards the patient care and medical side. So that's how, that's been my journey before joining the insurance industry.
Okay, so you mentioned
Yeah.
medical field. What exact field were you in?
So I have done my graduation in Ayurvedic medicine and surgery. So I was doing private practice on both sides, on the medical Ayurvedic medicine as well as on the modern medicine side. So I was associated with hospital, and then I was also having my private practice for part time. So managing both the things on the healthcare side.
I see. So
Yeah.
you mentioned Ayurvedic medicine. So what made you shift from the healthcare field to insurance?
Okay. See, when I was into the healthcare field, there we dealt with patients on individual basis with families, and that side gave complete understanding of how healthcare works, what are the challenges, what kind of problems the families go through, the emotional stress, the financial stress, and all these things. Now, and then in the interim, I was practicing in Bangalore at that point. Then we shifted to Pune. So after we shifted to Pune, so I got this opportunity of working in health insurance field. So I studied some points about health insurance. It was quite new at that point of time in 2005. Health insurance was not widely discussed and understood even in the healthcare field. So I saw that, okay, this is a field wherein we can touch many people lives and see how we can help them out in terms of addressing the financial stress, managing their financials, managing better health care when it comes to the treatments and these things. So I think that was the thought process which I said, okay, let's explore and try and see this side of the healthcare. And I joined insurance, and then definitely it catched up my interest, and I saw that we could reach out. I could reach out to many people, making change, bringing that change in lives of many people. Wherein, when I was practicing, it was limited to particular patients or limited number of patients there. Here, we can touch across millions of lives in terms of designing the products, in terms of servicing the customers, addressing or being there with them at the time of the hospitalization or when they need us more. So I thought that's the thought process, and since then I think there's no looking back, and I've been into the health insurance field for now almost 21 years. It's
Hmm.
been 21 years, and I'm enjoying this field thoroughly.
Wow,
Yeah.
awesome. So you mentioned that you joined all the way back in 2006, and since then it must be very different right now. So what are some interesting developments that you got to witness?
Okay. So when I joined insurance in 2006, the industry was at a very nascent stage. The competition was not so fierce, and there were very simple products. Those days we used to call it as Mediclaim, and Bajaj being one of the pioneer in the private health insurance industry, lot of new initiatives or new products we brought in Bajaj, like covering before 2004. I think the pre-existing conditions were completely excluded permanently. And then Bajaj being the pioneer of bringing in the pre-existing disease after a certain waiting period. And then we brought in a lot of features in health products, which definitely shaped the health insurance industry. And then I also saw a lot of reforms happening in on the regulatory front, on the government side. Health, in these 20 years, I could see definitely a large shift in health insurance, being a very small, occupying a very small space in the health insurance industry of 2 to 3%. Today, it is one of the leading this thing in the health insurance. I mean, in the insurance industry, general insurance industry, health is the leading, is having a leading share of business. So it's been an incredible journey of last 20 years.
Yes, so in the last 20 years, what is it about your job that you really, really liked or were really passionate about?
So the best part which I liked about the job is every day you come to work and you have new things to learn. You learn a lot of things, and I have never experienced that I'm doing the same thing again and again. And as I said, there are a lot of reforms that are happening on the healthcare side as well as on the healthcare financing side. Both sides, we interact with the hospitals, with the customers, and then we get to see how the complete era of health insurance or the healthcare space is changing, and more so in last 3 years with AI coming in, with a lot of automations happening, which really few things we see that in 2015 or 2010 we never thought that okay, we could bring a product with so much of wide coverage, addressing all a 360-degree holistic approach toward healthcare financing. Those days, the health insurance products used to be very limited, covering the hospitalization expense. Today, we cover the entire gamut of expenses in healthcare, be it OPD, be it physiotherapy, mental illness, or any terminal illness also. So that's how the insurance has grown from 2005 to 2025, rather 2003 to 2025. It's a very enriching experience growing along these changes, learning along these changes. So that's
I'd say.
helped me a lot growing as a person, also as an insurance professional in this industry.
Absolutely. So now that you handle claims, can you share any interesting claims experience with us?
So, I may not have a very, there are many claims that we come across wherein we see the difficulties. We come to know from the claim documents how difficult it is. It might have been for the family to manage, but I personally feel very connected, or it's a very difficult task to manage the mental illness claims. Whereas physical illness, it is easy. The doctor treats the patient, we pay the claims, and then the treatment is given. The patient gets better either by a surgery or by taking medicine. But when it comes to mental illness, things are not as straightforward as this. So that is one area which I feel definitely is very close to my heart, and needs a lot of uh, uh, lot of problems are there in that field, wherein when it comes, and we see youngsters facing these problems of late, and they are very vulnerable for mental illness, and with the growing stress and multitasking and these things, the problems are growing. And yes, that is a difficult area, but I'm very happy that mental illness is being covered in insurance space in some way or the other way. We are definitely there to support for these difficult times of people also.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And health itself is a very kind of vulnerable,
Sensitive.
sensitive topic. And, especially with handling claims comes rejection of claims. And
Yeah.
as a human being, it must be sometimes very difficult to kind of fathom, something that somebody else is going on at that point of
Yeah,
time. So yeah, I
absolutely.
completely understand when you said mental health
Yeah.
illnesses. So yes. And yeah, it's a great thing that now insurance is covering it as well.
Yeah.
So. Yes. So coming to health insurance, do you feel like it is very misunderstood and there are some myths that you would like to debunk?
Yeah. So when it comes to claims, especially, I think there are a lot of misunderstandings which are there, wherein people feel that okay, health insurance means completely financing the healthcare problems. Obviously, this is a financial instrument, and there needs to be a understanding what gets covered, how it gets covered, and when it gets covered. I think that understanding, when I am onboarding or I am enrolling into a health insurance policy, I think that those simple understanding of the policy terms conditions helps a lot in the long run. Like how what are the steps that I need to take care of when I'm claiming, what is covered, what is the meaning of waiting periods. I think these things definitely needs to be understood more, and we as an industry also are making a lot of efforts to simplify the wordings to make the terms conditions more understandable for the common man. There is a very common understanding that health insurance claims are mostly rejected, and that's being talked about whenever you come across an article or you talk to people outside. But when we see it from this side, we see that okay, rejection is the last thing for any insurer. We see it. How can we pay the claim? How can we support the family? Why? Because the family has enrolled into health insurance. But yes, there are certain terms and conditions that comes along with the policy. So those things definitely won't get covered up to certain period. And as and when the policy gets periodically, like 2 years, 3 years, 5 years down the line, I think most of the things get covered. I think these things, there has to be a proper understanding of the health insurance policies.
I see, absolutely. So now moving on to your personal life, what is it that you like to do when you're not working?
So obviously, when I'm not working, I feel that I should spend quality time, be grounded, travel. And when I say travel, I like mostly to travel within India. That is something which fascinates me a lot, because in India we see like every few kilometers, every 50 to 100 kilometers, the culture changes, the language changes, and we get to explore a lot of things, be it on the culture, on the language, on the food, or you get so many temples, ancient temples, and these things. So I'm very fascinated towards exploring these things, and I feel very connected when I travel to these places, ancient places, and temples, and
Yeah.
yeah.
You mentioned religious places. So is there any specific religious place in your bucket list that you would like to visit?
So mostly till late, I have explored many places down south. So north, there are few major places which definitely I would like to explore, like Amarnath and Kedarnath, and these things which are very difficult, I understand, to travel. So these are on my bucket list immediately. So let's see when I
Yes.
can get to visit and
Absolutely,
connect on
absolutely.
those
May
sides.
you visit them very soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So, now that we have almost come to the end of our interview, so you have one final question to answer. What is it about the BGen culture that feels unique to you?
So there are many things. As I've been here for almost 20 years, so there are many things, many learnings, and obviously things have shifted. Basis on which we connected with the organization. When I had joined, it was a small company. We were a small team. It was never like coming to work. It was a family, and we were very closely connected. And it was fun, and it was never we never had that feeling of like we are coming to work and we are working. So as in when the team grew and the people were added to the teams, so one thing that has never changed in Bajaj is the accountability and the ownership that the company gives. That okay, that freedom that the company gives and our seniors and our management gives. Okay, if you want to explore something, you have that freedom. You work hard on that. You prepare well for that concept. You present, it gets accepted. If it is good, it gets accepted, and you get that opportunity to execute also. And when I was in product development, I think many things, I had great experience on this side, that freedom and that accountability and that ownership is definitely, that keeps you going and that makes you very happy when you are working. So that's one thing I feel
Absolutely.
I love about BJ. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, thank you so much for your insights and for being our guest. And thank you for watching. Stay tuned for another episode of Cabin Chronicles where careers and curiosity collide. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.